Alright, this is a video on using the 13 steps for managing flashbacks. This comes from Pete Walker's book, Complex PTSD from Surviving to Thriving, but I'll put this link in the description. So I'm choosing to do this right now because I'm dealing with some level of anxiety. Just for background, I attend this program, well, it's not really a program. I attend this thing called the men's team. It's basically a personal development group for men. We just don't say group, we call it a team because it's kind of a team-based mentality. It's like we're responsible for the success of everybody else on our team. So I'm going to be taking over as the captain of my team at the end of this year, and I'm kind of anxious about it, honestly. So I'm going to use these steps and show you how I've been managing the anxiety and how I've been working through it kind of slowly but surely. So yeah, here we go. So the first step is to say to yourself, I'm having a flashback. Oh, I should also note, you can do these steps with me too if you're in the midst of a flashback. I think it'd be pretty useful actually to kind of have a human voice. So let's get back to it. So the first step, say to yourself, I'm having a flashback. Flashbacks take us to a timeless part of the psyche that feels as helpless, hopeless, and surrounded by danger as we were in childhood. The feelings and sensations you're experiencing are past memories that cannot hurt you now. So I kind of remind myself that, like, yeah, I'm feeling a flashback, and it is something in my body that is being triggered. It's the sympathetic nervous system really firing up and causing the anxiety. There's nothing actually causing danger to me right now. The second step, remind yourself, I feel afraid, but I am not in danger. I am safe now, here in the present. Remember, you are in the safety of the present, far from the danger of the past. So this step is crucial. I'm feeling the anxiety. I feel the fear, and fear is often a response to danger. But I realize, I'm in this nice building right now. I'm not in danger. My safety is guaranteed. Even if I completely screw up becoming captain, I'm not actually in any physical danger. All that happens is, I just don't continue being captain. So I will be safe no matter what. And number 3 is own your right and need to have boundaries. Remind yourself that you do not have to allow anyone to mistreat you. You are free to leave dangerous situations and protest unfair behavior. So I think part of the fear for me is this fear that everybody's going to turn on me and start attacking me. And I have that half smile. It's kind of a defense mechanism for actual fear. So I feel that fear. I feel fear of being attacked, and I know this comes from childhood because a lot of the times if I messed something up, I would be attacked by my parents. So I own my right and need to have boundaries. I remind myself that nobody is allowed to mistreat me. I'm allowed to walk away from bad situations, and if somebody speaks to me rudely, I have the right to not talk to them. The 4th step is to speak reassuringly to the inner child. The child needs to know that you love her unconditionally, that she can come to you for comfort and protection when she feels lost and scared. So for me, I know that I'm flashing back to something with respect to my parents. And when I was a kid, I wasn't able to really do anything. So that inner child is really screaming out hey, this is a dangerous situation. So I'm speaking reassuringly to myself saying we're going to be safe. It's going to be totally okay. And often I like to imagine a child version of me when I do that. And I close my eyes to visualize this. Hey, we're going to be okay. Number 5, deconstruct eternity thinking. In childhood, fear and abandonment felt endless. A safer future was unimaginable. Remember, the flashback will pass as it has many times before. So eternity thinking for me is just kind of feeling oh my God, I'm going to feel like this forever. It's never going to get better. I'm never going to not feel anxious about being captain. And that makes me actually want to run away from the spot. And I know that actually for trauma, if you react in fear and avoid it even more, it'll cause even more of a response in the future. And the best way to resolve trauma is to have the corrective experience, where you show yourself that, okay, now it's actually fine. So I know that this can get better, and I'll work through it. And this is not endless. And I know that the flashback will pass as it has many times before, because I have had flashbacks my whole life and they've passed. And I'm here. Most of the time I'm not flashback now. So, yeah. 6 is remind yourself that you are in an adult body with allies, skills, and resources to protect you that you never had as a child. Feeling small and little is a sure sign of a flashback. So, yeah, I feel small and little. I feel like a little kid who's preparing to get beaten, basically. So yeah, I do have allies, skills, and resources to protect me that I never had as a child. And it'll help to actually list out some of these right now, just to be like, okay, like, I can go here, here, and here to help me out with this situation. Like, I have my girlfriend, she's the best support. She's just very good at listening and providing good reassurance. I have other men on the team that I can talk to, some of who've been captain, that can help guide me. I have my therapist. I already feel better after saying this, actually. I often remind myself that I have therapy every Thursday. So it's like, well, if I'm going to be miserable, it can only be until Thursday, because then I'll do EMDR and I'll be okay. So yeah, but I definitely, like, it'll be okay. Number 7, ease back into your body. Fear launches us into heady worrying or numbing and spacing out. So I definitely got into the heady worrying. I started thinking about all the different ways I can, like, make sure that I don't screw up as captain and all that. So part A, gently ask your body to relax. So we're going to do some more somatic type activities now. So feel each of your major muscle groups and softly encourage them to relax. So why don't we do a progressive muscular relaxation going from the bottom up? So this involves really scrunching up the muscle and then letting go. So we'll start at the feet. Do it with your feet and your toes, scrunch them all the way up and let go. Next, do it with your calves. Scrunch them up, tighten, and let go. Next, do it with your quads and hamstrings. Scrunch and tighten them up. This is your upper thigh. Tighten as hard as you can. Then let go. Next, do your glutes. Scrunch them up. Let go. Let's do our abdomen. Scrunch your abdomen up. You should speak like this when you're doing it. Let go. Whew. Scrunch your back up. Let go. Then do your chest. Let go. Arms. Let go. And then face. Let go. Beautiful face to be making on video and putting on the internet. So, I mean, I definitely feel better. I hope you do too now. Ooh, I pulled a muscle in my neck. That's not, you don't want to do that. Next step, 7B, is to breathe deeply and slowly. So I like to do, sorry, my neck is really, I don't know what the hell happened there. So breathing deeply and slowly, you want to really extend the out breath. And we're going to do in breath for the count of 4 and then out breath for the count of 8. Ready? In. Out. Here, why don't we do 3? So I feel much better with that too now. So part D, find a safe place. Even my speaking cadence has actually decreased, so that's a sign that I'm less anxious. So these 13 steps work, guys. Part D, find a safe place to unwind and soothe yourself. Wrap yourself in a blanket, hold a stuffed animal, lie down in a closet or a bath, take a nap. So, unfortunately, I can't take a nap. When my anxiety's going, I find it incredibly hard to sleep. So, what I've done is I've come to this study. It's really nice. I like it. But I'm at my girlfriend's place. It's a good place. I have a weighted blanket at home. That's really helpful sometimes. And I do have a stuffed animal. My sister gave me a panda with a tiny head and a big body. She calls me Panda. So it's I have that, and sometimes I'll hold it and remind myself of like, okay, like I have people in my life that love me, you know? And then part E, feel the fear in your body without reacting to it. So fear is just an energy in your body that cannot hurt you if you do not run from it or react self-destructively to it. So what fear is it's the sympathetic nervous system activating. This is the nervous system that's responsible for the fight or flight response. Basically, whenever you feel you're in danger, it'll fire up. And what's going on right now is there's a muscle tension that is associated with this trauma. I don't know what the exact biology is about that, but I know that when I have some muscle tension, that's usually a sign that there's some trauma response going on. So I feel it in my stomach, and I know that's the center of the fear. And I just feel it, but I don't react to it. I just observe it. Sometimes I'll greet it. I'll ask it, hello, what message are you trying to send me? And it'll be like, oh my God, you're in danger. Look at everything is going to shit. Like everything is falling apart. And it's like, I just imagine that to be the inner child and console it, you know. This is step number 4 again. So yeah. Step 8, resist the inner critics drasticizing and catastrophizing. So the A part for that is use thought stopping to halt its endless exaggeration of danger and constant planning to control the uncontrollable. Refuse to shame, hate, or abandon yourself. Channel the anger of self-attack into saying no to unfair self-criticism. So basically my mind starts going like, oh, you're gonna screw this up, everybody's gonna hate you. It's like, no, they're not. That's not gonna happen. Just no chance. Then part B, use thought substitution to replace negative thinking with a memorized list of your qualities and accomplishments. So I don't have a memorized list of my qualities and accomplishments, but with thought substitution, it's like this thought comes in, like you're going to do a horrible job at being captain, your perfectionism is going to hurt everybody. And then I'll do thought substitution by saying to myself, like, I have grown so much out of my perfectionism through therapy and working on myself and journaling and just talking to people and sharing myself. And I've grown a lot, so I can continue growing. I'm good at this. Number 9 is allowing myself to grieve. Flashbacks are opportunities to release old, unexpressed feelings of fear, hurt, and abandonment, and to validate and then soothe the child's past experience of helplessness and hopelessness. Healthy grieving can turn our tears into self-compassion and our anger into self-protection. So this part is where the real healing, I think, begins. But grieving is quite difficult. I'll see if I can do it right now. So I feel anger. I feel impatient. I don't know why this is taking me so long to get out of. And this is a recurring problem that I have. Like, why is it taking me so long to get out of this flashback? And I feel my chest tighten up in anger. I feel anger. But I think I need to get out of this flashback because I feel this perfectionism in a sense. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to turn that anger into self-protection by saying, no, I have the right to take care of myself as this happens, as this triggering happens, and really take my time to get out of it. And I really feel the anger now. It's interesting how the emotions kind of unwind in a way. Number 10, cultivate safe relationships and seek support. Take time alone when you need it, but don't let shame isolate you. Feeling shame doesn't mean you are shameful. Educate your intimates about flashbacks and ask them to help you talk and feel your way through them. So my girlfriend knows about flashbacks. She's read this book. So I do have a safe relationship there, and she's gonna wake up soon, so I'll spend time with her, and that'll be really helpful. I'll probably also call some of the people on my team, some of the more experienced people, mostly to get their input and just share what I'm feeling. I took time alone this morning, mostly because I didn't have any choice, because I woke up at 6 a.m. unfortunately. But yeah, I will do that. So yeah. Number 11, learn to identify the types of triggers that lead to flashbacks. Avoid unsafe people, places, activities, and triggering mental processes. Practice preventative maintenance with these steps when triggering situations are unavoidable. So I know what led to this flashback. I basically had a small conflict with somebody, and there was a comment made about me potentially being captain, and then I got self-conscious and this anxiety came back. So I know this type of trigger. I can't exactly avoid it, but I know how to manage. I'm learning how to manage it. That's why I'm really trying to be captain. Number 12 is figure out what you are flashing back to. Flashbacks are opportunities to discover, validate, and heal our wounds from past abuse and abandonment. They also point to our still unmet and developmental needs and can provide motivation to get them met. So I don't know what I'm flashing back to right now, to be honest. That'll probably come as I go through the day. Like, it'll come to me as I explore my own psyche more and kind of calm down a bit more. It's probably something related to high school, because I often felt that nobody liked me in high school. So I have that fear right now. So it'll probably be something like that. My family also felt quite invalidating at times, so I'm probably flashing back to something along those lines. You can be flashing back to multiple things at once often. That's happened with me before. And the last step, be patient with the slow recovery process. It takes time in the present to become unadrenalized and considerable time in the future to gradually decrease the intensity, duration, and frequency of flashbacks. Real recovery is a gradually progressive process, often 2 steps forward, 1 step back, not an attained salvation fantasy. Don't beat yourself up for having a flashback. So yeah, this is going to take some time. Like, I didn't get fully out of the flashback in these last 17 minutes, as you can tell. It did get better. I will say that. It did get better, but I'm sure this will take some time, and that's okay. Like, I'll probably feel a bit better, and then maybe I'll feel a bit worse for a little bit, and then I'll feel even better than that. You just have to take it 1 step at a time. You can't really beat yourself up with recovery, like, if you're not recovering fast enough. And I was listening to this podcast with this psychiatrist, Anna Lemke, yesterday. She's talking about addiction. She said that oftentimes the hardest path in addiction recovery is the most effective one. I think that works with complex PTSD recovery too, and even just outside of complex PTSD, just learning how to grow. The hardest path is usually the most effective. And when I say hardest, that doesn't mean make it harder for yourself than it needs to be. Like, make sure you eat well, sleep, get some exercise, spend time around people who care about you. But you do have to do the work, and that's okay. Don't beat yourself up for having a flashback. So, yeah, well, these are the 13 steps from Pete Walker on managing emotional flashbacks. I hope this was helpful. Thank you so much. I will try and make more videos on things that are potentially helpful. So, yeah, but no promises on dates as to when that'll happen. But yeah, thanks so much for joining me. I hope you feel better. Have a good one. Bye. You can do this.